Coming up on AgweekTV, how NDSU is developing stronger leaders for rural North Dakota.
The new tax reform law will be positive for agriculture. I'll have details coming up.
We have a story of necessity is the mother of invention here at Appleton, Minnesota.
Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Rose Dunn. A few weeks after Congress passed the most sweeping tax reform in decades, farmers are working with their tax professionals to figure out what it means to their operation. Perhaps getting the most headlines was the doubling of the estate tax exemption to $11 million per person. Michelle Rook shows us some of the many other key provisions that will benefit agriculture.
The new tax reform law has many benefits for agriculture, including the increased expensing for farm equipment and other farm inputs. Tax specialist Pat Wolf says the Section 179 deduction on equipment was permanently raised to $1 million, and farmers will have unlimited bonus depreciation.
So farmers should be able to immediately deduct all their business costs, and again, those will carry forward.
Tax rates have also been lowered for corporations from 35% to 21%, but farms not incorporated also get a break.
The top rate is going from 39% to 37%, but there are 7 tax brackets and all of them are going down.
On top of that, farm operations can deduct 20% of their profits. Senator John Thune says he fought for interest deductibility and other key ag provisions that will generate economic growth.
They'll benefit from the rate reductions. I think the accelerated cost recovery in terms of the expensing and some of the other provisions. We've expanded cash accounting so more agricultural operations can use it.
However, Section 199A is being fixed as it provides a bigger tax deduction for marketing to a co-op than a private company.
Work is underway to change that, so I don't know how they're going to fix it, but there will be a tweak to that provision so that it's not market distorting.
I'm Michelle Rook reporting for Ag Week.
Agriculture also kept like-kind exchanges, and the alternative minimum tax was repealed. The tax reform law went into effect in 2018 and will apply to the taxes paid in 2019. Dicamba herbicide use and how to avoid the drift damage suffered by many growers last year is a hot topic these days. Kirk Howitt, an associate professor of weed science at NDSU, addressed the topic at the recent Northern Corn and Soybean Expo during a dicamba training session. More than 600 people attended the session. Howitt says new label requirements for 2018 are designed to help reduce damage to neighboring non-dicamba crops. But he says there are challenges in the new restrictions, including lower applicator boom height and slower travel speed. And he says many growers don't know they must attend the new mandatory dicamba training.
There are a number of new requirements on these labels, and one of them is that even though you may have your commercial applicator license, you need to also get certification that you have attended training on using these dicamba formulations.
You can find a list of the dicamba training sessions on the North Dakota Ag Department's website. Others are happening in Minnesota and South Dakota. The states are acknowledging reciprocity so farmers can take the training wherever it's offered. The North Dakota ag economic climate may remain steady in 2018, but some farmers are likely facing financial and emotional pressure due to ongoing commodity price declines. An NDSU Farm and Ranch Economic Summit, along with the North Dakota Farmers Union, was designed to help farm lenders, farmers, and ranchers through the tough times. Mikkel Pates has more.
This is just as stressful for that farmer today as the same kind of individual faced back in the 80s.
Roger Johnson is the president of the National Farmers Union and a former North Dakota Ag Commissioner. In his keynote speech at the summit, he said net farm income is down 50% from the highs of 4 years ago and could force some farmers out of the business.
That's a dramatic decline. In fact, it's as dramatic a decline as we ever saw during the 80s.
Johnson blames low commodity prices for the current difficulties. One advantage now is low interest rates, but there is one big difference from the 80s that is making it harder for young producers to enter or stay in the business.
Back in the 80s, you had asset values that declined dramatically. Land values fell probably close to 50%. You had lots of machinery auctions that were no sales, so really cheap, relatively good machinery. So if you're a beginning farmer and you could figure out a way to get credit, you could start with a relatively low expense base. That's not true today.
NDSU Extension Director Chris Borboom says the weak ag economy, coupled with the drought, prompted them to organize this event. He says ag lenders, counselors, and the faith community will need to work together to help farm families with stresses.
It certainly isn't going to be a quick fix, and so we need to be in it for the long haul to provide support for the farmers and ranchers in the state.
But there is a bright spot. Matt Dearson, an SDSU Extension Risk Management Specialist, says prices are stable in some commodities and a few are even up a bit.
I think you've got at least the prospect for some stabilization. That doesn't repair problems that have happened. That doesn't improve profitability. It stops declines in profitability.
Dearson says lack of revenue, equity, or financing can prevent farmers from making the best input choices.
That all just comes down to profitable decision making on the farm.
And a word of warning, farmers in trouble may fall victim to scammers who may try to talk them into niche markets that include hidden costs or risks. In Bismarck, this is Mikkel Pates for Ag Week.
Still ahead on AgweekTV, we'll show you a new invention that's boss of the turkey barn.
I'm 120, 130, 130, 55, once around the block, 212, my right here, now half times up. So
if you're thinking about selling a piece of land, or you're looking to sell some farm equipment, or if you're thinking about a retirement or involved in an estate, give us a call. We'll sit down and tell you all about the Steffes way. We think it's a good way. That's how we approach it. If any of those are in your plans, give us a call or go to steffesgroup.com. Learn all about us. Hope to hear from you.
Superior Grain Equipment offers storage and drying solutions designed for your grain handling needs. Mixed flow grain dryers from Superior offer even heating to reduce heat stress cracking, so you get higher quality grain, higher test weights, and better prices. Plus, they use half the energy of conventional screen dryers. Experience cost savings and superior grain conditioning. Make the superior choice today with Superior Grain Equipment.
Intelligent farming means more crop from every acre. That starts with smart machines and precision application. Introducing the new Rogator C-Series from Challenger, featuring a newer, smarter, more precise way to apply fertilizers and nutrients, more accurately and more efficiently than ever before, resulting in less overlap and less crop damage, all to make you more productive and more profitable. To find out more, contact Butler Machinery today.
Get your row crops off to the right start with an early riser Case IH planter from Titan Machinery. Case IH early riser planters feature high-tech yet rugged planter row units that quickly adapt to the toughest seeding conditions, while leaving an optimal seed bed to promote early, uniform plant emergence. Only Case IH early riser planters are designed to leave a flat-bottom seed furrow, ensuring consistent seed depth and even emergence. Contact your local Titan Machinery location today for more information on the next generation of planting technology from Case IH.
Advanced Grain Handling is your regional dealer for grain handler dryers, bins, and accessories. With Grain Handler's continuous mixed flow drying systems, you're capable of high levels of grain dryer efficiency on all types of grain, including seed grain. Advanced Grain Handling also carries West Steel's quality stainless steel products for on-farm and commercial grain storage solutions. Advanced Grain Handling has licensed and trained service techs and a licensed electrical shop. Get a hold of Chad Kylo to find the perfect solution for your farm.
For years, the Rural North Dakota Leadership Program has been preparing people across the state to be better leaders in their communities and strengthen rural North Dakota. The 18-month course is run by NDSU Extension and travels all over the state. Recently, the Ag Week team got to take part by providing training in understanding and dealing with the media. Shanda Morgan's family has run the Black Leg Cattle Ranch in western North Dakota for 5 generations, but they knew if it was going to support another generation, they'd have to make some changes.
My dad said, if any of you kids are going to come back to the ranch, you need to diversify because the cattle are not going to support that many families.
So Shanda and her brothers have turned the ranch into a tourist, wedding, event, and hunting destination.
And we have hosted over 40 countries on the ranch. We do a lot of tours. We host a lot of schools out there.
It's been a good move for her family, but she joined the class to be an even better advocate for rural life.
2 of my brothers are alumni of the Rural Leadership, and I've seen the impact that it's had on them. We're very passionate about agriculture and, spreading the message. Would that have been something to call you?
The program has been going since 2003. It focuses on personal development to send class members back home as better leaders and make their communities stronger.
We really want people to know more about themselves. So we have some inward-looking types of learning, but we also want them to learn about the communities. So we are always out in the communities learning about different things that are unique to that community, as well as their agriculture, their industries.
So do you have suggestions if someone is going to come speak to you?
At this session in Fargo, the group is learning about how to use local media to get their message out.
What kind of a story would be interesting to people?
The class is open to all ages and a variety of backgrounds. About half are from the ag industry, but the rest come from business and government. They do it because they want to learn more about the state or themselves.
I knew we had a little niche in that variety alone.
Chris Adams, who farms 9,000 acres with his dad, is preparing himself to take on roles on boards and committees.
Mostly it's making me a better person for my family, actually. It will benefit me in my professional life as well, but it's building me as a better person.
The class meets 10 times over the 18 months, all across the state. They'll also travel to Washington, D.C., and even make an international trip.
We think that what they are able to learn and be able to experience here will be with them for a lifetime. So it's a small investment for a lifetime.
This class will be done in June of 2019, and the next one will start in November of 2019. If you're interested in taking part in the program, check with your local extension office. 2 Minnesota turkey farmers have invented something to make working in turkey barns a whole lot easier. 15 years ago, Brad Mitchell and Jeff Stitt decided to come up with a machine to help with chores, and they created the Barn Boss. Mikkel Pates shows you what it is and how it works.
We knew within a day that this is something we had to make more of and make better, and it evolved into what we have going today.
Brad Mitchell's Shadowland Farms produces nearly 1 million turkeys a year for Jenny O. Over the years, turkeys in turkey barns have gotten bigger. It's hard work, but Mitchell and his partners have come up with a machine that makes it much easier.
It's nothing for one guy to walk 6 miles a day through turkeys if they never walk backwards. Then if you have to carry tools, or you have to, move birds out of the barn, and those kinds of tasks, you just physically wore out at the end of the day. And with this machine, you're not.
The Barn Boss machine has a standing platform with a joystick control at the front. Its oscillating, articulating chassis smoothly negotiates the uneven terrain inside of a barn.
It's very versatile to get in and out between the birds and in the poles, and it helps you carry your mortality out and your tools. So it's well overbuilt for what it's used for.
And it seems to have one other unexpected effect.
I don't know if it's about the noise or the vibration or the electromagnetic field, but the birds are calmer and they allow you to move through the barn a lot easier.
Mark Reidinger is a neighboring farmer who convinced Mitchell and Stitt that they should be selling the Barn Boss to other turkey growers. He now serves as their marketing manager and says the machine sells itself once a turkey grower sees it in action.
After about 2 weeks after selling a machine, I'll call back and ask how things are going with the machine, and people are amazed of how it has changed their quality of life. I've had farmers tell us it's the greatest thing since they've put a skid loader in their barn.
In Appleton, Minnesota, this is Mikkel Pates for Ag Week.
Mikkel will have much more on the Barn Boss in the next Ag Week magazine. Coming up on AgweekTV, we'll have some marketing advice from the keynote speaker at the International Crop Expo. But first, it seems like winter just keeps coming at us. Your agri-weather forecast is next.
Levosol is the most advanced nutrient efficiency solution, making phosphorus, zinc, and other key micronutrients more available to the plant. With 3 modes of action, it unlocks the nutrients in the soil. It makes the nutrients that it's applied with more available. And it is mobile in the plant for season-long activity. For more information, talk with your agronomy partner or visit wcdst.com.
Dream of building a new home, garage, shop, barn, or commercial space? What if you could create your ideal building for less than you ever imagined? Want to build a cabin in the woods, a workshop, storage space? Then call your Hanson personal building designer now, and we'll include professionally engineered, sealed plans to your new building absolutely free. Save up to thousands of dollars. Build your ideal dream for less than you ever imagined. Call now.
Martinson Ag Risk Management offers a variety of crop marketing and crop insurance packages to our customers. With over 40 years of experience, our dedicated staff works hard to ensure you get the best advice on crop insurance, marketing, and risk management. Contact Randy or any of the staff at Martinson Ag Risk Management today at 701-205-4200 or visit us online at martinsonag.com.
American Farm Equipment offers you the most effective, reliable, and simple-to-run grain dryers. Deluxe grain dryers with Moisture Link Plus G2 control panels give you the most accurate moisture and temperature readings, making it easy for you. You can monitor remotely with your cell phone, iPad, or computer. Guy Kittleson with American Farm Equipment installs deluxe grain dryers, and if needed, Guy can access your grain dryer remotely, saving you time and money. Call Guy Kittleson at American Farm Equipment today.
This is Dennis Beliski reminding you that the next Grand Forks Area Equipment and Truck Auction will be indoors at the Alaris Center March 26th. You have a lot of choices. Live auctions, a host of online auctions, classified ads, and parked by the road for sale. But few will deliver the strong equipment knowledge, fast turnaround, and best regional returns that we are known for. Let us turn your no longer needed units into working capital before spring planting. The auction is March 26th and the ad deadline is February 28th. Find us at resourceauction.com or call 701-757-4015.
Weather portion of Ag Week now, and here comes March and March weather. First of all, you'll notice across the northern plains, upper Midwest, southern Canada, cold weather does linger. It has been quite stagnantly cold lately, although it is a little less extreme as it was for much of February. We've gotten some significant snow covering the ground now over many areas of the Dakotas, Minnesota, Iowa, and more snow chances are on the way. A little bit more of a stormy weather pattern setting up, but you know, it is March, and that is actually quite typical. Cold weather in the northern plains, northern Rockies, upper Midwest. It's been fairly mild in the southeast. Of course, record heat last week in many areas of the eastern seaboard. If you really want hot weather, go to Australia. Of course, bear in mind, it's late summer in Australia, so these temperatures in the hundreds over the outback, not at all unusual, but it is a hot, dry weather pattern down there. Meanwhile, it was very warm, unusually so around Greenland this past week. It's gone cold again there, but there is some very mild weather into Iceland and extreme Western Europe, but it's quite cold in Siberia. Now, we're not talking cold like it was a month ago, but a lot of this region, Siberia and the eastern parts of Russia, into the minus 20s, and some of that cold now is expected to expand back into much of Central Europe. Not below zero, but below freezing across much of central northern Europe. Unusually cold for late in the season. Back here at home, it's a little bit cold and a little bit stormy. Of course, we've got a weather system moving out of the region here on Saturday into Sunday. More snow in the Pacific Northwest. Some rain down south setting up once again. Very wet pattern down here centered around Arkansas and eastern parts of Oklahoma. A couple of snow chances this week across the northern plains and or upper sections of the Midwest. And the jet stream pattern itself is a little more meandering, and it is going to bring some precipitation and some cooler weather eventually to the eastern part of the United States. Second week will bring northern plains and upper Midwest snow chances, and overall a much more active weather pattern than what we had been enjoying or seeing lately. The cold weather will stick around through the northern plains. The really frigid stuff will stay up in the Arctic and Hudson Bay, but it will be mostly below freezing across the northern plains. The only real warm weather down in the deep south and southeast this week, and next week it's looking about the same. Fairly cold, maybe a few days going above 32, but overall it's going to be a fairly chilly weather pattern setting up as we get toward the first week and the middle of March. So lingering cold weather, continued chances to add moisture through the form of snow, because the weather pattern is not only cold, it's relatively stormy now compared to what it was most of this past winter season.
Field Drainage Inc. has perfected the art of agricultural drainage by helping hundreds of farmers since 1978. We are a second-generation family-owned business for over 35 years. The Field Drainage Inc. team will work closely with you to conduct a thorough analysis of your needs and expectations, provide an estimate that fits your budget, perform all work in a timely and professional manner, and provide continued service after installation. Field Drainage Inc., your trusted drain tile installation company for over 35 years.
Luckin Trucks and Parts sells quality used parts for all makes and models. With over 50 acres of trucks and parts and new inventory arriving daily. Family owned and operated since 1966, Luckin's specializes in the sale of quality used medium to heavy duty truck parts as well as pre-owned trucks, trailers, and construction equipment. If it's on a truck, we got it. Call us today and let us get you your part.
Micro Essentials is a unique product in the sense where it's a homogenized product that has 4 nutrients in every single granule. What makes it different than other products that are out in the country? So it has 4 different nutrients: nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, which is 2 forms of sulfur, and zinc in every granule. We're seeing multiple things. We have sulfate sulfur and elemental sulfur. The sulfate sulfur, we get the bulk of the use of it the first year. The elemental breaks down over time. I've had farmers come up to me and tell me that they not only see the benefit the first year in higher yield or higher quality, but they're seeing it in consecutive years. So it's a huge benefit for the grower to use it on a consecutive basis. Our overall goal is to increase our farmers' yields and help them produce a higher quality and higher yielding crop. It's giving them the opportunity to get more nutrients in one. It makes sense agronomically, it makes sense economically.
Premier Shortline USA is your dealer for Meridian storage and grain handling. 50 years ago, Meridian Manufacturing designed the first smooth wall hopper bin. This innovation set the standard for hopper bins across North America, completely self-cleaning with no obstructions. Smooth wall hopper bins have become the preferred choice for safe and efficient storage. For temporary grain storage to complete systems, contact Nate or Brent at Premier Shortline USA.
The region's last big indoor ag show of the season was this week in Grand Forks. The International Crop Expo is a 2-day event that draws about 4,000 grain, potato, and soybean growers from the U.S. and Canada. The latest and greatest equipment and technology is on display, along with a number of seminars and speakers. The show's co-manager, Lionel Olson, says the educational sessions are a big draw for farmers.
Pricing's probably the big thing, and kind of people waiting to see what's going to, on the seed side of it, waiting to see what's going to take off, and that might be the direction it goes, or depends, early spring, late spring, could play an effect into it. So a lot of variables yet, but pricing seems to be a big topic. And farmers are eternal optimists. They're going to make the best out of it regardless.
And joining me now is Matt Roberts, one of the keynote speakers at the International Crop Expo. He's an ag economist from Columbus, Ohio. Now, recently there has been some excitement in the markets. Yeah. Are you seeing some positive trends?
We are. It's actually been a really nice run for about the last 4 weeks, particularly with some weather scares in Argentina, Brazil, and some picking up of exports. We're now finally seeing prices turn around after we've come out of harvest, and it looks like this year may be at least no worse than last year, and maybe there's some signs it could be a little bit better.
There are a lot of questions about trade right now. Do you have any predictions about how that might play out?
We have more risk in trade now, I think is the way I want to put it. We've just saw 2 weeks ago in the sorghum market, China really restrict its sorghum imports after being one of the largest importers of sorghum. There's a lot of indications that was politically motivated as retaliation for the tariffs that we saw put on a few weeks ago. These are the things that really worry me. When I look through history, what it would tell us about retaliatory tariffs, we could easily be talking about 50 cents to $1 lower soybean prices. And in the markets that we're in now, that's catastrophic. These are things that our representatives have to know all the way to the top.
And finally, do you have any words of wisdom about markets for our growers?
The most important marketing plan is one that's written down, that's detailed, and that is followed. The role of a marketing plan is to protect people from themselves, reduce mistakes, particularly young and beginning farmers. Young and beginning farmers don't have the balance sheets to really make mistakes, so they've got to focus on singles and doubles, not those home runs. So write out a marketing plan, stick to it. It matters less what the details are, then that you have a process that keeps you consistent.
All right, thanks for the words of wisdom, Matt Roberts, ag economist. Still ahead on AgweekTV, how Giving Hearts will be helping hundreds of FFA students across North Dakota.
Advanced biofuel for America's diesel engines is clean burning and made from renewable sources like soybean oil. Biodiesel fuel works in any diesel engine, reducing emissions, helping us breathe cleaner air. Biodiesel adds value to North Dakota soybeans, creating jobs, improving the environment, increasing our energy independence. Biodiesel, it starts with soybeans, it's fueling America.
TrueFlex Land Rollers. TrueFlex Land Rollers are designed with today's farmer in mind. With a 42-inch roller diameter, features include a heavy-duty hinge and wing lock, true roller overlap, 3-inch replaceable roller shafts, hydraulic wing steer, and more. As manufacturers, we can custom build to any size. For questions, call us toll-free or check us out online. TrueFlex Land Rollers, a division of Sprayflex.
Get ready for the biological revolution. AgZyme by Ag Concepts is the leading biological soil enhancement product on the market today. AgZyme improves soil health and fertilizer efficiency for healthier crops and better yields.
Definitely is making a difference. I really feel that it gives me a bump in the soybeans and corn. I would say 55 up to 70 bushel soybeans. We've even had as high as 75. Probably the best bang for your buck.
Join the biological revolution with AgZyme by Ag Concepts.
Upgrade your trailer to electric with the Rolltech electric system from AgriCover. Strong, flexible pivot arms and motor mount rotate and telescope, allowing the roll tube to rise and flex over heaped loads. The positive automatic lock is impossible to back off to control the flow of grain. This integrated system uses one wireless remote to operate up to 10 tarps and hoppers, keeping your driver out of the dust, rain, and harm's way. See the Rolltech system in action at an AgriCover dealer near you.
Where do you go for the latest news in agriculture? AgWeek magazine. Reaching over 70,000 farmers and ranchers in North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, and Montana. AgWeek provides the most up-to-date information on the markets, the trends, and the people who make it all happen. We're your source for news, not fluff. Dependable, trusted. AgWeek. Subscribe today by calling 1-800-811-2580. This has been National FFA Week, celebrating more than 90 years of FFA tradition and looking ahead to many more. More than 600,000 students participate in FFA activities at the local, state, and national levels. And recently, the North Dakota FFA Foundation got a big boost thanks to Giving Hearts Day. More than $30,000 came into the organization that day, much more than they expected. The state treasurer says it will go a long way in helping them to keep providing opportunities for students.
Definitely for us state officers, it's just nice to know that other members are going to have just as many opportunities as we did. And so then seeing that I have younger siblings in FFA, I know most of the other state officers have younger siblings, just to see that their opportunities are just going to continue and even maybe be furthered. So that's really exciting for all of us.
Thanks for watching this week's edition of AgweekTV. Remember, for all your ag news, go to agweek.com and be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well. See you next week.